Well, hello there,
Yo,
everybody.
yo.
Um, we have a interesting episode of MB Cast
An
tonight.
exciting, fun-filled episode.
Fun stuff. So we're gonna jump right into it with our first, I guess, ever segment.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think that's a fair assessment.
Very official segment, maybe,
Sure.
instead of just off the cusp kind of stuff. In a what you can call mini under the ring skirt segment, we decided to watch and then do a fresh little recording with our good friend Mike Kane to discuss the Money in the Bank 2020 ladder match.
Yeah, it was a
Just
fun
the
match.
ladder match. Just the ladder match, not the whole pay-per-view.
Right. Yeah, just that 30 minutes at the end there. And it was a good match, and it was a fun time talking to him about it. So here it is, and we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about it. Let's get right into it. Let's dive into it. We're here with our good friend Mike Kane.
This is a tricky one, huh?
Yeah, it's a hard thing to swallow. Well, let's first tell the good people what we're talking about. We're talking about 2020.
We're here to talk
Money
about
in the
the 2020 Money in the Bank Climb the Corporate Ladder match.
Is that what they're calling it for real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You could definitely also call it the latest real-world manifestation of Vince's creeping dementia.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, there was some shit in there that just was confusing. It felt like a bad fever dream.
Can we just can we jump right into that stuff? There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to unpack here. But can we start with the almost Lovecraftian horror that has been presented to us as the WWE's corporate office building?
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about all the zany characters.
It's like
that made
that
appearances
book.
in this wacky races.
It's like that book me and you read at a point, Mike. House of Leaves, maybe?
Yes, just never-ending corridors with strange things in them.
Ugh.
Dimensions that don't make any sense.
Bone chilling.
So the one that sticks out to me first is the clown. The clown behind the seat in the room.
Yeah.
It was just like an elevator lobby.
It was an elevator lobby, and there were also ring ropes there in the elevator lobby.
And more chain link fence walls.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in this elevator lobby. And there was also a chair. And after everybody's done fighting in this elevator lobby, the camera pans to the chair.
Just a real tight shot. Just a very tight full screen shot of the back of this
John
chair.
Wayne Gacy coming out from this chair. For no reason.
Giggling.
And then back,
he was a clown.
And then back behind the chair he goes.
And that's it.
Yeah, he just dips back.
And deeper,
never to be seen from again.
Deeper into my nightmares. Just
The one that disturbs
the other
me
one, okay,
most would be when Rey Mysterio runs into the men's room looking for everyone else that had just left the gym area, and this spray-painted orange man waddles out of a stall and says some ridiculous things, and then
he says, "I love you."
Yeah, and then Mysterio
that's
answers
what he said.
yeah, you too, but I gotta go or something. And he just...
Yeah, literally
He's
that.
so strange.
So I'm guessing that that's probably some old
It
school
is
wrestler that
definitely a
we're insulting
reference
a lot
we're
of people
missing.
by not knowing.
Right.
Sure.
Right, did you have one?
He literally was just coming out of the stall, and he was like zipping his pants up as he did it.
Really waddling around.
And like, I think the one that got me though was again some other former famous WWE star comes rolling up on a mobilized wheelchair and just gets fucking pied in the face.
Oh, you're talking about former WWE Raw General Manager John Laurinaitis, the leader of the People Power movement, once considered one of the most powerful men in the WWE, is now riding around on a rascal taking blueberry pies to the face. Yes, that was quite
and loving
upsetting.
it.
Bravo,
And
bravo.
loving it.
Creative
Like, he
really
didn't
has
even-
gotten
Creative? Yeah.
Creative has gotten creative. They're doing their thing over there.
So, another thing that I really loved about this match was, apparently the Undertaker has just a kind of spare room put aside for him at the corporate offices here, where he stores a couple of his coffins and some of his lighting,
his naps.
right, and some of his lighting effects, just because it's gotta look the part. AJ Styles got thrown in there and seemed to be having some trouble. I guess he forgot how to open doors. I don't know.
Yeah, he was real scared. He couldn't find the door.
But then he did.
That was a good part.
But then he did.
Of course, he couldn't just be in there forever.
No.
I think another room that I liked was when they ended up in Vince McMahon's office. First of all, they go in, and the first thing you notice as these two men are brawling in an office is that there's a fucking T-Rex skull mounted on the wall. And you're like,
Well, that's the funny
That's
thing.
interesting.
There's always been rumors that Vince McMahon had some kind of dinosaur bones or T-Rex skull in his office, and
I really thought you were about to say there's been a rumor that Vince McMahon has a living T-Rex, and I honestly probably would have been not super surprised.
There have been rumors that Vince McMahon is the guy from Jurassic Park. He does have the Moscato in the little amber.
Moscato is a type of wine, I'm pretty sure.
I said Moscato.
just so much to take in this match.
There was a lot.
Another favorite part of mine was the food fight.
Oh man, that was you liked that, huh?
Oh my god,
I can't get
part
enough.
that kills me and Ray the most, that has us dying laughing. Both times we've watched it now is the part where someone bumps into Paul Heyman and the sandwich he's holding flies out of his hand and into the body
Is that what
hand
happens?
of Otis. And at that point, he screams "food fight."
This? Oh no!
No.
Stop!
Don't
stop,
gloss
stop.
over it. Don't
Stop
gloss
the
over
tape.
it.
Cut it out right there.
What do you mean?
Okay, so what happens? What happens is the sandwich makes contact with Otis.
Oh, dude! Oh, I thought he screamed
then,
"food fight" and then that happened. I'm sorry.
And then no.
I'm sorry.
No, it's a build-up.
And then the ancient god buried deep under Otis's layers is awoken for some reason by the sandwich. And Otis just has to express this newfound power through a probably good 15 seconds of vigorous full body shakes.
He shakes
after
of which start at the sandwich.
Right.
The shakes start at the
correct,
sandwich
and they
ripple
and
through
they
his
echo
body.
outwards.
He
yes.
shakes the sandwich apart. There is no more sandwich by the end.
And then when the sandwich has fully been sacrificed, he bellows "food fight," and something very upsetting that a lot of people pay a lot of money to see similar versions of happens.
Well, he threw a whole plate of something right at Paul Heyman's face.
I think that was.
And
I
then
think
you
it
get,
was
like, that-
rice and like fried veggies and stuff.
and chicken and like it was weird. It was a lot of different stuff. He had a lot of stuff on his face. And then you get a pan around the room, close-ups of each individual person's face,
Looking just
stunned
utterly horrified.
until they get in on the food.
Right.
fight.
From there, it really just takes
Yeah.
off.
Otis. We haven't talked about Asuka once in this entire time.
So right from the beginning, while all this is so let's circle back around to the beginning because this sounds like a fever dream. Believe me, it felt like.
Well, yeah,
It felt like
focusing
what?
a lot on a lot of the men's portions or parts of it that were mixed.
That's
I
true.
guess too.
So the goal of this match is to get to the roof of the building and get one of the 2 WWE Money in the Bank briefcases from the suspended thing above the ring. I forget the suspended hook, I guess,
Yeah.
above the ring that they
Chain.
have set up on the roof.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, Asuka has just been doing her best to Sonic the Hedgehog her way through the building. She hopped right onto an elevator and took it pretty far up, maybe about halfway, and has just been making a mad dash for the roof the entire time.
Yeah, she's pretty much ahead of everybody else the entire time.
Yeah.
She's just like
And she
Until
started,
she gets to the
speeding
roof
through
and
it.
has magically been caught by 3 other people.
She started by
Yes.
not like coming out during her entrance, screaming, and then when
Right.
everyone came to see what she was screaming about, she jumped on them like a bird of prey
from like
on a perch from above.
like a weird vantage point.
Right, and then she hopped in the
She's
elevator and smashed that door close
Yeah.
button.
She was like a real life anime character during that match, man. She was really just kicking ass and taking
She had to
names
go
the
fast.
She
entire
just
time.
she had one thing on her mind, and it was I am going to reach the roof of this building.
It was her ninja way, and
Yeah. Didn't you say that during one of her matches when she does the green mist thing, one of the announcers was referring to it as her
Yeah.
jutsu?
Yes.
yes, it has happened on multiple occasions back when she was
Get out.
using it more frequently.
Those motherfuckers are just allowed to say whatever they want.
Pretty much.
They don't really script the
But-
announcer.
But hey, so are we. Isn't that kind of what we do?
Hey.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
So,
There were no announcers for this match, though.
No.
We
no.
didn't get
No.
any of that.
But
No.
great sound mixing.
Yes. Yes, the sound mixing and the sound editing here was honestly the shining star on this admittedly very large pile of mostly turds. There was a couple gems in there, but it was mostly weird and uncomfortable to sit through. The sound editing, however, was really brilliant, and what I loved was when AJ Styles finds the Undertaker room that we talked about. All of a sudden, we get to see these PTSD flashbacks that
Yes.
AJ has of the Undertaker match from
So
what was
good.
it, WrestleMania this year.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love that they're continuing this storyline because that means that it's now canon that AJ was buried alive by the Undertaker and is suffering some kind of after effect. And it's going to be really fun to see if they do anything with that. But
I enjoyed that.
the sound. Oh, another brilliant moment with the sound was when they go into Vince McMahon's office, Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. There's a moment where the music cuts and Vince tells them to get out, and they very sheepishly kind of fix his office up a little bit and go back out the door.
Well, when they first go into his office, they're playing like what I can only describe as trap music.
Correct.
I don't know if anybody caught that, but it was like X gonna give it to you, which is not trap, but you know what I mean? Like it was that vibe.
Yeah. So then they come back out of the office and they're having a little lovers quarrel right outside the door there about who was acting like a wimp in the room, and then they take a beat and they look at each other and the music kicks back in as if they were still right in the middle of a fight, and they're right back into it, and it's perfectly synced and choreographed, and it's really, really, really impressive. Now,
It was good stuff.
Now, on the not so great side of things when it came to editing in this match, at least I noticed, and this drives me crazy, I hate when they do this, there was at least 2 separate moments in this match where we got probably 6 to 10 immediate jump cut camera shots of a move that was about to be pulled off by somebody.
Not impressive moves either.
No, really just kind of run-of-the-mill stuff, and they felt very, like, janky and out of place, and they just were, like, very not fluid, and it really kind of took me out of the experience a little.
Like the time in the office where Carmella picks up the painting of herself winning a previous year of Money in the Bank and smashes it through Dana's head, or over Dana's head, and she goes through the painting. They cut that shot, like, probably 3 or 4 times as it was happening.
No.
A lot.
I feel like it was at least 6. It was a minimum of 6.
And then they did that thing where Stephanie McMahon zoomed in her portion of
my
that.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
I almost forgot because it was so bad. It almost fell away like rotten fruit from a tree.
Yeah. So what they tried to make it look like was this person, Stephanie McMahon, walked into the room in which these people were in and started scolding them
For, like, destroying the building
like,
and
so
such.
clearly... it was so clearly like a Skype video.
Yeah, she was not there.
It was a different background. It was a different camera angle. It was a different camera quality. It was so poorly done.
It was a different audio quality.
Yeah, it was just not good. It was just not good.
Yeah. It was silly. It was very silly. What I do appreciate about that whole exchange, though, is that she continues to run around with the painting over her face for, like, at least another 10 minutes.
She runs into the room with the food fight with it on her body still. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I want to circle back to the beginning just one more time for when King Corbin throws the weight and smashes that mirror and then literally looks like he's either pooped himself or is about to. He just looks so... He looks so scared. He looks so terrified, like a child that did a no-no.
It is one of the only instances... It's one of the only instances in the entire fight where anyone, like, makes a facial expression that, like, actually conveyed some kind of emotion.
It's weird.
And what's so two really fun things about that moment. First of all, back to the sound editing.
Mm-hmm.
When we get those shots of Corbin just staring at the mirror, like, in shock and a little bit of fear, there's this really, like, intense string music that kicks in just for a couple seconds, and then we cut back to another shot of the fight, and it's back to this, like,
hardcore
rumble tumble
like
music,
metal rock,
and then they cut back to Corbin again, and it cuts immediately back to the string music as they zoom in on his face, and it is beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Oh,
dude,
God.
I can't. There was just so many good moments and weird moments, and then, quite frankly, bad moments. It had it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, rounded out, I really
are we
enjoyed.
Ready to talk about the roof?
Oh yeah,
man.
well that's all that's left now.
Well, hold on. So I don't actually legally know if we're allowed to talk about the roof because we were witness to a very serious crime.
We might get subpoenaed. This whole podcast might get
honestly
subpoenaed.
Everybody who watched it.
This has just become a true crime WWE podcast. Welcome to Under the Ring Skirt.
Buried under the ring skirt.
Even deeper.
Oh no.
Getting under there even more.
Boy, that was nothing, huh?
That was great. That was good.
Thank you.
You should be proud of yourself.
I don't want to tell you guys how to do your podcast, but boy, that was really not so good.
That's exactly what we strive for.
That is.
Here. It's right there. That was it.
Why did I agree to come on this again?
Top quality.
I don't know. Have you even listened to the other one?
I haven't. I'll be honest. I have not.
Neither have I. Oh God.
Well, I can tell you, me and Chuck listened to him all the way through, and it was great.
That's good. I'm
good for
glad
you.
You think so. But about that roof, About that murder.
Yeah.
Right.
That double homicide.
So who was it?
Who are our victims?
Our
Rey
victims were
Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio and Aleister Black.
And these two men were thrown from the roof by Baron Corbin, if I'm not mistaken.
King Corbin is
You're
our.
right. Our number one suspect.
Oh no. Not a suspect.
Well, he is currently our number one suspect because
innocent until proven
he
guilty.
is on camera throwing these two men over the side of the building, though. So I'm gonna say we probably got him on this one.
Well, he's also
I think so.
on camera later the next week saying he did it on purpose.
Right. So we found out that Ray and Alistair actually just fell to a kind of sub-roof about 6 feet below the prime roof that they were
On
thrown
top
off
of
of.
each other.
Correct.
Roof
On top
prime
of each
and
other. Roof beta.
yeah.
Right. So what Baron Corbin did, though, see, he kind of dug his own grave here. He admitted that when he threw these two men from the ledge, he had no idea what was on the other side there. He assumed that they were going off the side of the building and going to plummet the 8 stories or so to the.
Nah, it was pretty high.
The concrete. 8 stories is like 80 feet. That's pretty high, isn't it?
I don't even know anymore.
I think corporate is. I think it's like it's a big building, man.
Well,
It looked big.
in any case, it would have been for sure death. Like
Death,
no
yeah,
question.
for sure.
I mean that was a really bold choice, committing murder on basically national television.
Yeah, it was crazy when he did it the first time, and then to turn around and grab someone else, and then
do it
just
immediately again.
Just a real disregard for human life there.
Yeah. Yeah.
At that point, I think Asuka was out there, right?
Yeah, I think at that point she had gotten it.
Yeah, she did some fighting, none of which was really anything to write home about. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything that was amazing either.
Yeah, when you're comparing it to clowns popping up out of the corners and
People getting
AJ Styles getting locked in his own personal hell, it's
Right,
not
right. People getting thrown
not a
off
lot.
roofs.
And then she scrambled up one of those big ladders and snatched herself that briefcase.
She did for the men.
And then the gentleman started trying to
trickling out.
get their briefcase.
right.
So I believe it was Baron Corbin and AJ Styles, right?
I think
Well, yeah, Baron
that sounds
Corbin,
about right.
They-
Styles.
They started climbing that ladder, and they both got to the top, and boy howdy were they really going at it.
What?
They unclipped the briefcase.
They-
They had it out.
They did. They actually got it off the hook, but they had it together, so nobody had claimed
No, my
sole
question was
ownership
what happened
yet.
to Daniel Bryan? I don't even remember. Like, where did he?
Yeah, I don't know. He probably got
Where he went, where he went down finally.
Yeah, like when,
I don't know either.
when was the last time we saw him? Was it that fight outside McMahon's office?
Yeah, I think AJ got him over there. I think he threw him into a wall or something. Maybe
Did
I
he
don't know.
never even make it to the roof? That's so sad.
Impossible to say.
Jesus, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, he could have been
But
up
anyway,
there.
yes,
I just don't remember
AJ
seeing him.
and King Corbin both had it unhooked and were fighting for it up there, atop the ladder.
Then out of nowhere, the one and only Elias appeared with his rockin' axe,
Trusty guitar.
and he struck down King Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, the briefcase was flung from both AJ and Corbin's grasp. And who ended up catching that briefcase but the man himself,
The butt of all the fat jokes.
Otis.
Yeah.
It's my homeboy.
It was genuinely cool.
Well,
Well,
I don't know about that.
I enjoyed that Otis is Mr. Money in the Bank.
I like that he won. I think he could have won it better.
So let's
And I
talk
think-
about that. Let's talk about that for a minute because I have a theory.
Okay.
Elias appears, and then he disappears. He's there for literally about 10 seconds to smack somebody with a guitar, and then he's gone. So what I think might have happened is, I think that Elias was an Elias from an alternate dimension or timeline. And he knows that if Baron Corbin or AJ Styles gets their hands on that Money in the Bank briefcase, it triggers the breaking of the seals and the coming of the apocalypse for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Are they 2 of the 4 horsemen?
It could be. Who knows? And then he knew that if he interfered and he was able to get the briefcase to Otis, that, that disaster would be prevented. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe he's trying to usher in the apocalypse. That's even better. I should have gone with that one.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. The way, I mean, you did say that there was a dark, buried monster within Otis that emerged.
Something happened when he touched that sandwich, I'm telling you.
Something definitely did happen. Whether it was some kind of like dark demonic power or an epileptic episode is up for debate.
Is it though?
It's not.
I'm pretty sure we saw the awakening of an old one there.
But yeah, so we had our winners. We had Asuka. We have the other one.
Asuka and Otis.
Yeah. Tell us about what happened with Asuka afterwards.
Right. So the next night on Raw, what happened was Becky Lynch comes out to start the show, and she calls Asuka down to the ring. Weird. All things considered, she's the champion. Asuka is the woman who just won the Money in the Bank brief to be cashed in on at any second.
Sure.
So Asuka comes down with the briefcase, and Becky is starting to unlock the briefcase, which is weirder because this kind of shit doesn't happen ever. And then at that point, when Becky opens up the briefcase, the championship belt is inside. And she says to Asuka, you have to take this and go on to be the warrior that you are, because I'm going on to be a mother. And she relinquishes the belt because Seth Rollins knocked her up.
Lovely. What a lovely sentiment.
Yeah, and you really told that in the most, uplifting and definitely not demeaning in any way possible.
And also incredibly thrilling.
That was really great content.
I think that about sums it up. Do you guys have anything else that you want to add in? You want to comment on? Is WWE headquarters built on an Indian burial ground?
I don't know if it's an Indian burial ground so much as the souls of just about everybody who's ever walked through those corridors has been leached by whatever kind of dark magic Vince uses to keep his, keep himself from shuffling off this mortal plane.
Just T-Rex head fresh.
Yeah. Well, I think that about does it for us here. Thanks for hopping on this shit show.
A couple other things.
Oh, were there?
Yeah.
Cool.
That show, Undertaker's Last Ride, started up, finally, which you can check out on the WWE Network.
Are we plugging WWE content?
What? No.
They're not paying us.
No, why? No, I'm just...
Who are you telling to check this out? Who are you telling this?
Because you
Me?
seemed very interested.
I'm not doing it.
Watch WrestleMania.
That was faux entertainment. This would all be done off mic.
And I also wanted to let anyone know that anyone that gave a shit and listened to Under the Ring Skirt, that Mike and Ray both received their Good Boy prizes for Ray being the winner of the predictions, and Mike being pardoned by Ray, the winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious to see how next year will go.
Yes, and
It's gonna be interesting. I really hope we actually can go to Hollywood.
me as well.
And I hope that doesn't get squished.
But
Yeah, that would be fun.
in any case, I will have an actual title belt for one of us to take home at that point in time.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's
Whoever
happening.
wins the predictions will take home
An under the ring skirt branded title
Yes.
belt.
Yes. So that about wraps it up. And thank you for joining us, Mike.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on.
my pleasure. I assume that you guys saw in my rider that this was $2,500 for this time.
Yeah. We'll have Chuck hit you up.
I mean, Venmo, Cash App, whatever. Like, you guys know where
Yeah.
I'm at.
Yeah, don't worry about it, dude.
Yeah.
We got you.
Cool.
We're just rolling in it, MB Gaming is really doing. We're pulling in the big money
You're
at this
doing
point.
Well, I heard.
spectacularly.
Did I hear already? Are you guys in the hunt for that Casper sponsorship?
Oh yeah, Casper, MeUndies,
Audible.
all the big ones. Audible.
Oh yeah, get some of those Bezos bucks.
Yeah,
I just heard today that Audible is apparently a company that will essentially sponsor any podcast. They don't really give a flying fuck. If you hit them up and you are doing it and trying on a regular basis, they will be like, yep, sure.
Hey, maybe that's a conversation we should have not in the middle of a podcast, huh?
I just
Yeah.
thought of it because
Yeah,
you
I
guys
think
are
so,
talking
too.
about it. That's all.
Well,
Great. Can't wait to cut all this.
you heard it here, folks. This is how the hot podcasting decisions get made, live on.
Alrighty.
All right, I will catch you guys next time. Enjoy whatever shenanigans you're gonna get up to, and stay frosty.
Hell yeah. Thanks, dude. Okay. That was cool.
Yeah,
What else? What else do you have for us?
We're back from our little cutaway of Under the Ring Skirt now, and we are gonna be discussing today. Well, we're gonna do a little movie review because me and Ray recently have been watching some movies that come directly onto streaming services or video on demand. So we're gonna do a little review and see how that goes. We're just gonna talk about some of our favorite parts. Neither of us claims to be a film critic or wants to be. We're just going off the cusp here. So
Heck yeah.
the two movies we saw recently. The first one we're going to discuss is Onward.
Mhm.
Brought to you by Disney Pixar, the newest from them. Was it Pixar? It was, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Pixar. Yeah.
It was pretty dang good. The voice actors were great.
Mhm.
Tom Holland and Chris Pratt were the
Mhm.
brothers, I believe. It was a really touching story.
Yeah, there was a
About
lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, about some good boys going on a journey, a magical quest
Uh-huh.
to try and talk to their dad for one last time.
More accurately, to restore their half dad.
Restore their half dad, who they accidentally turned into a half dad.
Just legs.
Some real Full Metal Alchemist-esque horror shit.
Now, okay, explain to me how explain to me how you got there.
What do you mean?
Explain to me how you got to Full Metal Alchemist.
They have
An anime of which
half
you
dad.
haven't
And in
actually
Full
watched.
Metal Alchemist, they created a half mom.
No, they didn't.
They-
Not quite.
Not quite, but almost.
I think if I remember correctly, and I don't, because I know you've seen the original, and it's a little different from Brotherhood, which is a lot better. But I'm pretty sure when they do what you're talking about, when they're trying to restore their mommy, I'm pretty sure they like summon like a pile of like flesh and blood and goo.
Yeah, they get about halfway there.
I don't even know if you can consider it half.
It's definitely not a clean.
It's definitely not a clean half as it is in Onward. It might be like
I didn't claim it to be clean.
Half the sum of all of her parts, but like none of them are sticking together, or it's like her spleen. And
I wonder if the mom in Onward wanted that half day with Dad's lower half.
That's what I'm pretty sure I mentioned something about that
during the watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because it is his lower half.
It is.
Yeah, and then they they carry him around with like
they weekend at Bernie's him.
They do weekend at Bernie's him,
but they fake the top half.
Yeah, they put like, what is it, like a pillow?
I don't know.
Wearing a shirt,
a potato sack, maybe. Who knows?
And like a baseball cap.
It's a very cute movie in the end, though. It's very as much as we're goofing and pooping on it. It's genuinely an original Pixar idea for the first time in a long time, and it's very good, very very good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's set in like a D&D-esque world.
Right, high fantasy with modern times, though.
All the magic has left the world because they're wrapped up in like having actual jobs and like technological revolution.
I think in the beginning it showed. In the beginning, it was being explained that like magic used to be everywhere, but like you had to study really hard and like get good at it.
Right.
And then it shows somebody like really easily inventing the light bulb and like that becoming the thing because it's easier and you don't have to do as much, which we could talk a lot about that and how that doesn't really ring true at all, but I think that's besides the point. What I did like is like that juxtaposition of like elves and orcs and centaurs and like explaining how those kinds of characters would interact with like a modern world and modern technology. I thought that was cool.
It definitely was cool.
So cool. Like
so cool.
Like one of the best shots in the whole movie is they're getting towards the end of their quest and there's like this wide panned out shot of them I think in like a desert or something, and like they're hoofing it at this point, like they lose their car somewhere along the way, and like it looks so high fantasy, like it's these two elf brothers and one's got a staff and like the whole thing, but above them you get like airplane with like the little streak in the sky going off it, like just to kind of remind you like, yeah, this is very high fantasy and everything, but it's still modern times, and it's very good the way Pixar does their little nods and their little Easter eggs. They've always been really good at that shit. Do you have any favorite parts that you want to talk about?
Oh boy, do you have any? I'm gonna need to think on that a few seconds more.
I don't know. I can think of one when they sacrificed their van. I thought that was pretty good. I guess we should mention spoilers. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's.
We're always gonna do it. We're always gonna throw them in at the top of there. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Even though I already said the thing.
You could put a little banner before we start talking about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, they sacrificed their van, and damn, it's really been a minute since we watched this movie, though, is the thing. So I remember liking it. I remember thinking that part was cool, but fuck if I could tell you why.
I think my favorite part was when Tom Holland's character figures out he's got some magic powers in him. And, like, the quest really starts to kick off and begin.
When they do the summoning of Half-Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So, Onward.
Onward. Onward to the next film.
Onward with the podcast.
Yeah. The next film we saw together.
A couple weeks
Much
later.
more
I think we watched this on my birthday.
On your birthday. On your day of birth.
Mm-hmm.
We sat down and enjoyed us some Scoob.
We did. We did enjoy it.
I really enjoyed it. And I don't know if it was just because we were so stoned and just
the nostalgia
laughing
porn.
at everything. I don't know. It was definitely nostalgia porn, but I really actually liked it. And it was a little weird.
Yeah.
There was definitely some shit that, like, they're pandering to the new generation of children.
Right.
For sure. It's
right.
not a classic Scooby-Doo story, but it's different, and I could sit through it. I didn't want to turn it off.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Definitely wasn't bad. I could talk about a million different parts I liked in it, actually.
Tell us all of them.
Starting with the theme song. The loving recreation of the original Scooby-Doo theme song with, like, original monsters and everything. Just all rendered in 3D, and it looked beautiful. It was pretty. It was pretty as hell.
And in the part where they decided to put it in, the movie starts off with all the characters aged down a little bit. They're like,
like pup
kids
named Scooby-Doo age.
Sure.
Young children.
And then they go in and they go to solve their first little mystery all together. And,
well, they kind of stumble on it at Halloween time.
Right.
They're just trick-or-treating together, and I think Shaggy gets bullied, and Fred and the gang run up to rescue him, and then they go into the creepy house.
His bag of candy gets thrown into a window of a very haunted
house. And they have to go in there, and then they inadvertently solve their first mystery.
Unmask, like, a realtor agent that is haunting a house for some reason. But then they kick in the theme song as they're young, and through the theme song, as they're running from all the different monsters, they're aging up.
Yeah, it's great.
It was really cool. Hella cool. Super cool.
There were callbacks and stuff to other Scooby-Doo movies in there. There was a bunch of different stuff. Oh my god. But the other thing that it came down to that I really ended up enjoying, which was it was the weirdest part, but then I ended up really liking it, was the bad guy. And again, it was the strangest thing.
Not what I was expecting.
They put Dick Dastardly from Wacky Races into the Scooby-Doo movie to be the main villain. And he had, like, robot minions, basically. Like minions from
of the Minions movies.
I can't. No, they came from that other thing though.
Despicable Me.
Thank you. Okay. But anyway, he has these robot minions, but these things are terrifying.
Yeah, they can, like, turn into.
They ain't your children's little minions. They turn into some murderous bowling ball and pin robot.
They turn into like scorpions too. Yeah.
It's disturbing at times.
Yeah, it's weird. But they're also like cute.
Each other.
Sometimes they're cute.
It's weird. But that's when they mutilate each other. Is when they're cute.
Are you referring to the time when Dick Dastardly ripped one of their heads off and replaced it with a small vacuum cleaner?
I thought Oh, I thought there was another scene where they were like beating each other up or
It's
something.
it's possible. I don't remember.
But yeah,
But
that was effed up too.
that was effed up.
It was like graphic.
I think he literally
And the
says
little
something
robot was
along
like a
something
tank.
along the lines of like, you need to be made an example of.
No, he says like, this is gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me. And he rips his head off and shoves a fucking devil duster right in the little socket.
Yep.
And then he just goes around sneezing the rest of the movie. The poor little thing. The poor little thing is just sneezing dust the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Spreading that coronavirus everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. His arms are too short to cover his little vacuum nose, so yeah, he was literally sneezing everywhere.
Disgusting.
Yeah, not great.
Poor
so
Daphne eventually helps him out.
It's good. Spoiler alert.
Who cares? It's Scoob.
Dude, everybody cares about Scoob.
You've had your 2 weeks to pay your money and see it. If you haven't yet, shame on you.
Yeah, because that's what that's what everyone's cashing in their unemployment checks for. It's fucking Scoob.
Scoob. $25 on Scoob.
It was like fucking $20 or some shit. It was way too much.
They gotta get back that money somehow.
Yeah. A
They
lot of
gotta
these
get
a
it
lot of
back.
these movies have already like
Disney can piss away the money that would have come from Onward, no problem. They could
Right.
reimburse Pixar for that without even thinking about it. It's not a big deal, because Marvel and Star Wars is where all their money is coming from now. Fuck Onward, fuck Pixar. It doesn't matter if they release those.
Well,
held
did
off
it.
on
Isn't it
Mulan.
on Disney Plus?
What?
Onward?
Yeah, well, they're still making some money, but like, if you already had Disney Plus, or some people are getting it free for a year through Verizon or whatever,
Sure.
it's like the money is coming from somewhere. And
So let's talk about that, because Scoob is what, Warner Brothers?
yeah,
And Warner Brothers wanted to flex about how much shit they have acquired over the years, because they made a lot of references to a lot of things. You want to talk about some of these references?
they had like a Harry Potter reference in there.
They
at least
they
a couple
did.
times.
They did. Somebody just straight up started talking about houses. I can't for the life of me remember why.
I don't remember the context or anything. I remember a Harry Potter reference. I remember there's lots of DC Comics references in there.
Yeah.
Simon
Cowell, who,
and
is
American
notoriously,
Idol references.
yeah, notoriously owned by Warner Brothers, is the fictional character Simon Cowell.
Very strange. Very strange. My other favorite part, or well, I guess my favorite part of Scoob was the adult jokes that would fly over kids' heads.
Yeah.
That was by far my favorite part, and there's only one I can think of off the top of my head right now, and another one that, quite honestly, is escaping me at the moment.
I think of a couple. Tell me which one you
The one I'm
remember.
thinking of is when Scooby-Doo is captured by Dick Dastardly on his airship or whatever.
Right.
And
Right.
is over and over again improperly saying Dick Dastardly's name as Rick, because, Scooby-Doo pronounces everything with an R
Right.
at the front. But every time Scooby would pronounce it Rick, Dick Dastardly would begin screaming just the word Dick in Scooby-Doo's face. And it got to a point where Scoob isn't even talking anymore, and Dick Dastardly is just standing there screaming the word Dick profusely over and over again. And it doesn't sound that funny, but in the context and when you're seeing it happen, it's clearly supposed to be like
He's screaming.
adult.
He's screaming dick.
He's just screaming dick.
There's no wordplay. There's no,
I thought there was a tiny bit of wordplay.
There
but
really
I can't
wasn't
remember
though.
exactly
You really
what.
no. It's really just his name is Dick, and he's staring at Scooby Doo and he's screaming Dick, 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 Dick.
Yeah.
And then immediately following that scene, Shaggy and Captain Falcon are sitting together, and
That's Captain
he says,
Falcon from the Nintendo game.
"Is it Captain Falcon? Who the fuck is it? It's Falcon somebody.
Falcon Force 5.
It's fucking who gives a shit?
Not Captain Falcon.
It's fucking Captain Falcon, okay? His name is Captain Falcon or some shit. What the hell is his name? Now it's gonna bother me.
I don't know.
Why would you do that? But they're sitting in like a hot air balloon or some shit, and
Their own airship.
for some reason Shaggy like pulls the pin on a grenade and he screams F-bombs away.
Oh yeah.
And they like make a joke about trying to keep the movie PG directly after he just started screaming dick. And then the last and most subtle and best fucking joke of the whole movie is again Captain Falcon. He's like giving a gift basket or something to Shaggy, and in it is his father's novel, and it's covered with cellophane and like other stuff at first. And then he picks it up so you can like see what it's called, and it's called No Falcon Around.
No Falcon Around.
It's fucking great, dude. That's the
And
kind
there
of
was a sequel
shit.
to the book that had an even better name, but we were laughing so hard.
Oh, what he said
Around. We missed the sequel.
I didn't even know.
And I totally forget. We laughed so hard at some of the jokes in that movie that we definitely missed other jokes. Like immediately
Probably.
after.
Probably. Did you buy it or did you rent it?
I rented.
Yeah, same. Well, it was good. Either way, it was a good flick.
I do plan on buying it eventually because I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I'd like to pick up some of the older Scooby-Doo movies, or at least a couple. The Alien one and the Zombie Island one are the two.
By alien, do you mean the cyber thing?
Oh no, I forgot about that one. That one's good too, actually.
Yeah, the one with...
No, the Alien one where Scooby and Shaggy get alien girlfriends.
I don't remember that one.
You don't?
Is that the one where they end up in like that all-girls school for monsters?
No, what the hell?
You know what I'm talking about,
Okay,
though.
I know what you're talking about. You know, folks, we're gonna have to go rewatch some of our childhood Scooby movies and come back and have a full Scooby.
I don't remember Alien Girlfriends. I remember the Vampire Island one really well.
It's all... Oh, my God.
Or
now,
Zombie.
do you remember the Witches of Salem one? Where they meet the Hex Girls, the rock band?
Yes.
Oh,
Obviously.
my God. Okay, now there's a lot of Scooby movies that we gotta go back and watch. There is quite a few.
And then, obviously, there's the live-action one, which is...
The live-action 2. There's 2 of those.
I don't remember a second one.
Yeah, well, there's definitely 2 of those.
Did we see it?
I don't remember. But we should. And like I said, maybe we'll do a couple Scooby movies at a time and come back and talk about them.
Yeah, maybe this could be a recurring bit. But you said you had something else for us. What else you got up your sleeves?
Oh, for like the rest of the cast, you mean?
Hell yeah.
Well, moving on then. We're going to be talking about none other than the infamous
Oh god, I'm so scared.
Florida Man.
Oh my god, do you have a Florida Man story?
I have plenty for you.
Oh, shit.
Most of which have happened within the last year.
Topical.
Starting with one that happened right in my backyard.
Oh, boy.
One that happened
Was it you? Were you the Florida man?
No. And this literally happened.
Should we explain to people what that means? Or is that like an,
I think it's widely known enough now.
Yeah.
And if they don't know when I do the bit, and then I do it like 2 or 3 more times, I think they'll get the gist of it.
Okay, let's go.
I don't think it needs explaining. So this one happened probably last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. By the time y'all are probably hearing this, I think it'll be around 2 weeks. Florida man takes off an airplane. 10 minutes later, crashes at Publix.
In the parking lot?
Yeah, it was right behind the Publix, and near, like in between the Publix and an apartment complex, basically. The guy had troubles with the plane, and he tried landing it on the road outside the Publix. He crashed, and I believe like 2 or 3 of the passengers are dead.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was bad.
How big of a plane are we talking? Not like a commercial.
No,
plane.
it was just like it took off from like a little tiny airport. It was one of those little. It was a little propeller plane.
I don't know if this is a Florida man story or just a story of something that happened near your house.
Well, I mean, a Florida man was driving the plane, and
Was he
didn't
like
crash? So.
Was he drunk? Was he high? Did he do something dumb?
No.
So then this is just a thing that happened in Florida.
No. It was a man flying a plane, and he did crash.
Okay. Maybe I need to explain to you what a Florida man is.
No, I know what a Florida man is, okay? And we're going to get into that with my other stories here. I'm just telling you the one that had literally hit closest to home.
Yeah, but I don't know if it belongs in the Florida man segment. Or at least maybe it should have been prefaced that this man like he didn't do anything.
He flew a plane and he crashed it. What do you mean?
Did he crash? Like, did he crash it? Like, what do you mean when you say he crashed it? What did he do to crash it? Yeah, but like that could be a million things.
I told you it was a plane error. I don't
That
know
has
what
nothing to do with
happened.
this poor fool.
Well, he sadly passed away.
Jesus Christ! Why are we talking about this?
Because it's a Florida man story.
It's not. It's not a Florida man story.
Of
It's
course
just
it
it's
is.
just a sad story
if it
about
happened to a man in Florida, it's a Florida man story. Like, you can go to the subreddit Florida man. The first one up here for the past year is not all Florida men are bad. Let's make this one good.
Oh my
Florida man
God.
dies in plane crash
Oh my god.
while fighting the Australia wildfires back a few months ago.
This is such a literal definition of Florida man.
I'm just telling you. It's at this point, Florida man has grown to become something more than just a negative outlook on the men of Florida. Sometimes it could be a good thing, sometimes it could be a bad thing, sometimes it could just be something straight up unlucky, like the guy that sadly lost his life flying and crashing a plane near the Publix at my house. or by my house. Like, you can't, it's not so cut and dry for Florida man anymore.
Apparently not. Who knew?
I'll just be reading some headlines, and, like, if you feel as though they deserve a closer look into, I'll click the article and read some of it.
Okay. Are you literally just on the Florida Man subreddit?
Right now, yes.
Okay. Okay.
For those of you that want to go look this up yourself, Florida Man subreddit, I am searching by the top posts of this year. Florida Man, attacked and killed by pet cassowaries. Becomes first human killed by the species since 1926.
What was he killed by?
Ostrich-like giant birds, cassowaries.
Jesus fucking Christ, Florida. See, that's a Florida Man story. That makes sense to me. Okay, give me another one. This is delicious.
Florida man caught illegally feeding wild alligator resists arrest, saying he's a good boy and he loves bagels.
Yes, yes. Click, 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 click.
All right, here we go.
Oh, God. This is prime. Oh, my God.
That same alligator is performing a death roll to evade police.
Well, can you blame him? You've been inside jail in Florida. It's not a great place.
The Florida man named the alligator Hank and kept him in the pond in his backyard.
Oh, boy.
Called him a good boy and good friend.
So what was he being arrested for? For feeding it? For keeping it?
I think he was issued a citation by the Fish and Wildlife Commission. And then he resisted arrest after refusing to accept said citation.
Yeah. Seems about right.
As he was being arrested, he said, "He's a good boy. He lets me pet him. He just sits there and he loves bagels. He was such a good friend."
Oh. See, now
geez,
that's a good
this man
Florida
is 67 years old. This is kind of sad now.
Maybe a little senile. Well, I think with all the Florida Man stories, we can expect a sudden and sharp turn into sadness.
Probably. Because most of them are most likely mentally ill in some way.
Or incredibly senile. There's a lot of that in Florida. What else you got?
This one is much darker.
Oh, no.
Florida man arrested for having sex with stuffed Olaf snowman doll inside Target.
Oh, no. Oh,
Click or
no.
Click or move on.
That sentence gets worse with every word. With every word, it gets worse. Can you read it to me one more time?
Florida man arrested for having sex with stuffed Olaf snowman doll inside Target.
Oh.
Well, now I have to click it because I gotta know. I gotta know where it happened. What part of Florida this was.
Okay, that's fair. You gotta know how close to home it was.
Right. St. Petersburg.
Pretty
far north. Pretty far north.
Okay.
It's pretty far north from me.
Okay, good. Let's get out of there. Let's leave that
The guy
Target.
was only 20 years old.
I don't think it makes. I don't know if it changes in any way. I don't know. I don't know if the more I know about him, the better or worse it becomes.
He admitted to doing stupid stuff when he was arrested.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Oh, boy. Was it a dare?
Nope. He actually ejaculated on the doll.
No.
Put it back on the shelf.
No.
He put it back on the shelf and then selected a large unicorn stuffed animal and began to have sex with that one as well. Oh my god, dude. You keep the content rolling, let me tell you.
Please move on. Please. Please.
Okay.
Oh God. God bless the people. When did that happen? When did that? What?
Like I said, this was all in the last year.
Yeah, but like before or after the Rona?
October 23rd, 2019.
At least no, at least no one that we know of is having sex with stuffed animals inside Targets after or during the COVID epidemic. At least we're being a little more dignified. Oh God.
And here, just to prove that not all Florida men are bad, again.
Our nasty, nasty boys.
Florida man kept rambling on to friends about dead palm trees. Turns out he'd spotted a new disease killing thousands of Florida's signature trees. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The ramblings of a senile old man turn into science and saving the palm trees.
Interesting. Let's tell me a little bit more about this feller.
Oh, all right. Here we go. It's from the Tampa Bay area.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no cure for the disease that ails them. They're
Cool.
just all going to keep dying.
Cool. Kill. Super kill.
I don't really know if there's more to talk about here, honestly. Scientists are starting to look into it to find a way to stop it or reverse it or whatever.
I think one more piece of this beautiful Florida pie.
Oh, man. Here we go. One more real crazy one for you.
Excellent.
Florida woman tries selling truck for $200. Why? She was telling people that the owner had been shot in the head and was dead, and they needed to get rid of this truck. Only problem? No one besides her knew the owners were dead. Now, she is charged with murder.
That was the headline?
Yes.
Jesus
That whole thing.
fucking Christ.
So not only
What
are
a
the
wild
people
narrative.
in Florida crazy that they're writing about, but the writers for these articles are also terrible at making headlines.
Yeah. What's the publication source for this?
Well, no,
one?
I guess that's technically the title on Reddit.
Oh,
Here we go. Here's the actual headline.
Please.
Police. Florida man killed sleeping couple, buried bodies in swamp with stepdaughter's help.
Whoa. Graphic.
So I guess the stepdaughter in the Reddit title is the Florida woman.
Yeah, but
I've been leaving all names out of, because I mean people can go look these up if they want.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we don't need to be dropping.
names.
Dropping names.
Oh, here one more to end on a little bit of a better note. Okay, Florida man has seen Avengers Endgame a record 116 times, and he's not slowing down.
Okay. So is this written about you?
Nope. This is another Tampa Bay article. This man is 2 years older than I am, 30, and this was from June 14th, 2019, so just about a year ago, and he has seen the movie more times than anyone on Earth, apparently.
That's crazy. When did that come out?
I don't remember. And these were all in-theater viewings. He saw this in theaters.
No.
At this point,
It came
I think
out
they
in 2000. It
updated
came
the
out in
article at the
2019. So
holy shit. Okay, at the end of the article, they updated it. He ended up seeing it just over 150 times before it left theaters.
what the fuck?
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Let's do the math. How much does a movie ticket cost?
I don't know. I think they have done all this math for you already.
Wow.
He has logged more than 350 hours, or about 14 and a half days.
Oh my god.
And if he's successful, which he didn't end up being successful, he wanted to reach 200 viewings, but he never did. If he was successful, he would reach over 600 hours and about 25 days worth of endgame.
Jesus Christ.
So see, this man has a disability of a different kind.
Well, yeah. So
He's not murdering people. He's just destroying his own
psyche.
I don't
life,
even know what you call that.
everything.
He's just throwing it all away.
Depending, I'm assuming that if you're seeing a movie that many times, he probably has some kind of like membership with a movie theater. Like I
don't know.
AMC has that kind of stuff.
He went up and down the country as it started leaving theaters in Florida, and he started chasing it after. He just started chasing after it elsewhere. So.
Okay, well, I googled the average movie ticket, and the average movie ticket is $9. I think it's a little higher depending on where you're at.
He probably saw it in, like, different formats, though. So, like, D-Box, 3D, those come out to closer to be, like, $18-19 usually a person.
If it
was all just standard viewings, you had to take 9 times fucking...
I did that.
Let's say 155.
Well, was it 150 or 155?
It said just over 150 by the time...
So let's keep it at 150. It's $1,350.
So plus the traveling he had to do to
of
go
course,
try and find
and
it around the country.
You know he didn't spend $9 on each movie. That's incredibly low.
He's only 30 years old. He turned 31 while he was doing this.
He dropped several grand and like probably close to 2 months of his life on this.
You don't think he might be a trust fund baby? Using mommy and daddy's money?
Dude, something.
You think there's enough make it your owners by 31 years old to
No, I'm not saying that.
Go blow a few $1,000s on chasing Endgame around the country?
No,
like a Beatles fangirl back
if you're the kind of person that's going to make like good money for yourself, you're probably not also going to be the kind of person to chase Avengers Endgame
right
around the country. God. No, yeah, that's only the kind of thing you do on someone else's dime.
Right, when you don't give a shit about how much you're spending.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Fucking buck wild. So I hope y'all have some sort of understanding of what a Florida man is. But yeah, so I think that's gonna about do it for us here. It's been a cool episode. Thanks again to our good friend Mike for coming on, talking to us about some wrestling. Nick, you got anything to add?
Yeah, naked Florida man chases people and cops around Chick-fil-A parking lot, telling them they're gay for looking at his penis.
Excellent. As always, you can find us on MB Gaming on YouTube, and check out our other podcasts, Brothers at the Board, Bros at the Board, where we play we're never gonna get that we're never gonna get it down, where we play Monster of the Week. Yeah, there's a lot of good shit on the channel, so keep your eyes out, keep your ears open, and keep it sleazy.